it's not like the cleanest of games for the Snapfire right now.
No, you definitely have to play away from the Timber because this is, of course, a strength hero. So if you, for example, put the Abad and the Snapfire on that lane and they somehow just find themselves too close for comfort, Timber's the type of hero that will melt down these strength heroes. So probably Abad and Rubik up against this Morphling that's just been shown is what we should be expecting. But as was said, we've seen the Snapfire for support for this team, and
It'll most
not
likely be
revealed
5
yet.
now in this game.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if you see the Abad and Rubik, I assume that would obviously be the 3 and 4, and then you get Snapfire in the bot lane. And again, it's another mobile hero core potentially picked up from Empire. So now they've got, if it is Timber, Puck, and Morph are their cores, for example, I assume the Puck's 4 anyway, but still, they've now got at least 3 heroes that have this ability to kind of disconnect themselves from the Snapfire. So if they're in the right position, if the Snapfire is just a little bit too far, like trying to hit the max range ult because you get that left off or something, and then any of these heroes just do that slight disconnect from the fight, they're going to easily be able to get away from the ult. So they have to make sure that they have to take the folks really close. So I think URSUS, they need to make sure that they pick the next 2 heroes in their draft, have the ability to contain and control a fight within a closed off area to enable the Snapfire. If not, your Snapfire is just going to kind of push out lanes and do a lot of other things within the game, but it'll be less reliance on this kind of pure, beautiful ult.
No, it's true. Snapfire is one of these weird ones, right? Like, you don't
Ooh,
usually want to
okay.
draft. Okay, well, that's
We're gonna
one
run
way
at
to
you,
go.
boys. Oh, great.
It is another strength hero against the
Nice.
Timber again, though, which
Yeah,
could backfire a little.
uh,
Like, it doesn't do
nah,
bad
it's
against the Timber
fine.
in a vacuum, right? Because the Burning Spear is like, whereas Timber wants to be hit by physical.
It's just
It is a
it's the
lot of
story
magic
of
damage, actually.
yesterday. Like these teams, for some reason, they always have like the same draft. It's like every time they go into a game, they like when they do the coin toss for like pick a side. They also have a third coin
Are
toss
you going early or late?
for early or late. Like Ursus currently have been flipped. Oh, well, we're going for the early draft. Oh, no worries, lads. And then Empire are like, oh, nice. We finally got the late game draft. Yesterday we only got the early game and disconnect draft. So okay, thanks, nice. So yeah, okay.
It's like one team's like, yes, tier 5 items are coming our way, and the other one's like, no, buddy, we're not getting past tier 3. Okay, that's game end right there.
Yeah, they're just not allowed to play any longer. I guess that's what happened yesterday with the Rubik. He was like, "Oh well, we got the early game draft, so it's 15 minutes now, lads. So I'm gonna have to disconnect. I'm sorry, it's just rules will be rules."
They just didn't like the look of the upcoming items. Makes sense. And the thing I was going to highlight before we saw this Huskar pick was that we talk about the Snapfire and how you can enable the Snapfire, but if this is a
Mhm.
support Snapfire, which most likely it is, does that
Yeah.
not feel weird to draft around your support? I feel like whenever we've seen that kind
Ooh.
of a focus, it's been pretty dangerous. I think the big
I
example would be
think.
Grimstrokes, right?
I think the way that I was wording the Snapfire was more like an indirect way of looking at it, where
Where
you
your
have
combo
the
is.
Snapfire. You're not drafting for the Snapfire, but you're drafting for your overall team. So
Hmm.
right now you have like your Aberdeen as frontline. You've now got this Huskar. Like you've got a lot of like you've not got hard initiate, hard stun, and then the byproduct of not having hard initiate, hard stun for your whole entire team is then of course your Snapfire as well, albeit a support also doesn't get a little bit of enabled for her ultimate. So it's kind of like it's just a thing that occurred rather than it being like, we're drafting for it. It's just they just don't forget that this will not be perfect for the support, right?
Yeah, it's a case of like try and have a combo, and there I was
Okay,
gonna
here we
say something like
go.
this. There's
There's
your
the stun,
combo, right?
boys.
It's like when you draft a Skywrath, you're thinking something like a Void as well. When you're
Yeah.
thinking Snapfire, Void is a natural thought as well.
Hmm.
Um, and it's like it's complementary is the point. Instead of you, because whenever you see teams focus around the support pick, like I use Grimstroke because that was the perfect example I could think of every time. You see Grimstroke, the team's like we need to pick 3 or 4 heroes that use his ultimate, and then you don't have a full draft. But this is a lot more together for Ursus.
Yeah. So I think you've got that high tempo setter from the Huskar. You're going to be able to enable it through the Abaddon sitting behind, and then your 2 supports are very active supports if they play together. So you have this kind of like 4-man death ball potential in the early game, and then your Void can then utilize his space, only join fights for the Chronos, and then continue farming, making sure that he has items moving into that mid game. Empire Hope, on the other hand, the Timbersaw, he's gonna obviously just sit in his lane and just get fat if he's in the right lane. The Morphling or He's gonna be safe. It's gonna be Viper middle. Yeah, Viper v Husker. That's fine for Viper. And then it's like you have this morphling. So if the lane goes well, then it can be quite aggressive. Otherwise, it's gonna be like a trader farm. So Empire Hope, they're gonna have to really rely on how their Lich and Puck move between the morphling lane and maybe even throwing a little gank towards the Huskar. And then if they can do that and offset this Huskar's game, then yeah, it's just gonna be a close game. Both these drafts actually have scalability.
No, most definitely. It's going to be around that. I think like the 15-20 minute mark is going to be key, right? Because that's where Huskar starts to accelerate. If you can kill him once, or especially twice at that point, Huskar starts to just fall off very, very hard.
It just depends on the position that he dies and the time that he dies. Because if he dies in a bad position and gives away a free objective, it hurts a lot. If he dies at the wrong time and then like enables a free Roshan or he enables a free smoke gank across a map type of thing, like if his deaths are just unnecessarily aggressive, then sure it can offset the game. But I think the thing here is this Husker, he's not the win condition for this team. He's going to be a nuisance. He can die 2-3 times, but it's the Void having the farm in a good game to then be able to kill the Morph in a chrono. That's kind of like the storyline that URSUS have to kind of follow. Like if the Husker, of course, it's going to be very good against the Timber. You know, you life break him, you just start chunking him down. So yeah, I think it's all about positioning, taking the right area, and taking the team fight. I think the biggest concern you have for Empire Hope is who's going to buy a vessel. Like on both teams, you kind of lack the vessel buyer, right? Like Rubik naturally doesn't really want to buy a vessel, but can, and same again for Puck. You don't really want to buy a vessel, but you can. So both teams really need that vessel. The only obviously the difference is URSUS actually have the Abaddon to take away the vessel, right? So swings and roundabouts, but I think both teams need to think about this item for sure.
No, it's a fair point, and Lotus is also very good for both sides in this type of game to just try and avoid the issue of the Sinister Gaze, but especially like if you're picking one up on Empire, like that's probably their dispel point is when a Timber can get to that item, probably second or third choice. Not bad
Yeah.
because there's like a Rubik there, for example.
30 seconds to battle.
This entire draft will like for Empire will be how do we enable this Morphling? So the Viper's going to be the front line. You're then going to have this Timber Sword kind of being a nuisance in the side, and Morphling's going to be in this pocket behind these two heroes, just pumping out the damage, throwing out potential E-Blades, throwing out, just them fat right clicks. Oh, Morphling. Absolutely hate the hero. Disgusting.
Hey, at least it's not comboed with an Abaddon to heal him up on the lane this time.
That is true. Or a tree just to level 1 living armor him, just so he's like, thank you for that heal.
Or even Warlock, who seems to be all but dead in the meta right now.
Oh, he has his place, I assure you. I think he's actually pretty good. Not for like, oh my god, he's broken good, but he's like, when you get to your third pick in the draft and you're kind of going, I need a bit of team fight. I've got like a very passive, safe lane. Boom, pick your Warlock.
No, it's fair.
Anyway.
It's a hero that maybe isn't as solid on the lane unless you've got someone you know is going to be bullied, right? Like maybe like a Spectre at the start.
Oh no,
it's happening again.
No. Okay, we're fine.
Okay,
We're
good.
Fine.
I don't think my Warlock could handle that again.
I'm ready for the 4v5s,
Why stop there? 3v4s, you know?
Oh, let's one up it today, boys. Where's your bets now?
So it's going to be 4v4 this game, then 3v4. But the finals, it's just going to be a 1v1, really.
Just a one. Oh, how terrible would that be?
How
1v1
pure is that?
grand final for LAN.
Yeah, but the real crux is that all lanes are active, and if you get 2 kills, the game doesn't end.
No, you know that if you open up a lobby and play all lanes without any manipulation, I just creeps hitting creeps. I think Radiant wins something. So.
I think
Oh,
one
Scott,
dire
buddy.
lane. Oh god.
Ooh-wee.
Oh, Lightless. Why did he attack again? Is it a little bit too greedy? I think it is.
He tried. Let's go, Huskar. You win your lane like you're meant to, Mr. Huskar.
Now buy more braces. This Viper's gonna be completely irrelevant.
Yeah, this is like the type of lane where Viper Huskar level 1 is kind of like, yeah, that's cool, that's chill. Viper can be annoying. They're equally as annoying. And then as soon as you pick up the braces, obviously the Viper doesn't really want to buy any, like he buys Wraith Bands. He gets points in like his passive. It's
But
cool,
like
but
you get to the
have
point
make
where
sure you're
braces
equal,
match
right?
that, right? And
Yeah, you have to be equal. It's a
Okay.
morphling. He's gonna go to low HP, count to about 12, and he'll be back.
True, but it is a level 1 morph, so that could have went wrong very easily.
True, true.
Yeah, it's that type of awkward situation. I think it's like the perfect example of volatile lane, right? Where it's like Viper.
Oh, here we go.
Okay,
There
it's
we
turning
go.
around, and Lightless might be dead as well. Not quite enough burns with the Verifier.
Verifier.
Not even close.
Yeah, so this was like this entire lane mid is like who gets to jump first. If you get like 2-3 right clicks on Viper and he commits, Viper's gonna win the trade. If Haskell gets 2-3 right clicks and commits, he's gonna win the trade. So it's all about making sure that you always match the aggression to at least get that 1-for-1 death on mid. Mid's basically the bloodbath because they're just both like
They're
potent
both killers. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not like what we usually see in mid these days, where like one is a counter pick that will beat it, and the other's like, well, I can just farm the jungle, so I'll fall back. Neither of these guys want to end up in the jungle.
I'm a Magnus.
Oh, Magnus, of course. I can't lose any matchup because I can just go farm. Used to be TA. Yol is probably going to go down here. They have the mobility to kill him off. And while we're talking about that, there's a trade again in the mid lane. This time they both died. So the score is still even.
There we go. I think that, yeah, they've learned. It was like the Husker started the first fight, the Viper started the second fight, and in the third fight, it had to be equal.
Now it's a question of which support goes there first, because now they are completely even in the game. Maybe this is a preview of the series. Maybe this is going to be a free game series.
Slip.
Yoku. Oh no. They're going to think he had a lane ward because of that as well. And he does, just not in the place that they thought.
What boring cosmetics on Morphling? Just some shoulders.
Yeah, he just basically stole parts of Ancient Apparition. His counter. This is what... No, you say it's boring.
Oh.
There's a brilliant story behind this, because what he's done is he's killed his counter, AA, right? And he's ripped his arms off and attached them to him.
Oh.
It's like it's trophy, right? Of his
Okay.
prime kill.
Sure. Can't argue with that, mate. You've really sold me on that one.
I like to paint dark pictures.
Noted. I'll look forward to the artwork that you produce later on how they killed the AA.
Meanwhile,
It's actually
Huskar
nice
is
to see.
killing creeps, by the way. He gave up on the lane.
I think that's fair because like the lane will naturally trickle in at some point once the Viper pushes it out, so the Husker can potentially soak it up. Additionally, depending on how other lane's going, you can sit someone there. I would expect some hero or some support to try and take this lane over. You can see the Snapfire rotate through the jungle right now. There's not a lot of kill potential on top in terms of Timbersaw and Puck till they're like level 6 when you can coil the Void. So I think right now it's just going to be a very natural Husking and jungle, Snapfire gets levels mid, Void farm stop.
That's right. Turn that Snapfire into a core, and Lich is just going to die bot in the meantime for the second time. This matchup compared to the mid, less back and forth. Very one-sided in favor of Yoku for this one. Lich not really a hero that we've seen suffer in the lane that much, right? Usually we've seen it as this huge lane bully. Do you equate that more to the matchup, or do you think part of that is to do with the nerfs to the hero as well?
Oh, I think it's totally due to the matchup. You've got a Morphling who's generally quite a passive carry until you get to Corsair, until you get high levels, and then you're able to be a little bit more kind of confident in the lane. So the Lich wants to throw out the blast, try and do some zoning, but you got Abden and Rubik. So Abden got a little bit of sustain, obviously with the shield, and then the Rubik, natural bully. So this Lich is just trying to play as if there's a core there, but in reality your core isn't really present until the 6 to 7 minute mark. Or unless you get some free kills at the start of the game.
Yeah, and then force a giant fight in the mid already. As Yol may have bitten off more than he can chew. Lose your up through. Oh, they didn't turn for the extra hit. They go for Ushush instead.
Oh,
and they'll be able to bring him down. James is even going to die here. They might be able to get him down, but it might cost Yoku's life as well as the Viper Strike comes out. Lightless just runs away. The cookie, before he can get it, though, he dies too quick. Lightless is having one hell of a game so far. This is definitely turning into the Viper show.
Like, this is actually, like, this Timbersaw just has a completely free game because you just 1v1 avoid. Like, these movements, like, the fact that this Viper won the mid matchup, it's very good. Like, of course, the Viper's meant to win this matchup. That's obviously that's why
Just
you kind of
not
last pick it
that
into the
quickly,
Husker.
right?
No, no, it's like when you last pick the Viper into the Huskar, it is very much a Viper favored lane. It's just about can that, like, the Huskar got the first kill, can he then maybe get the second kill from like a little bit more aggression? The fact he, yeah,
that it feels like that one shouldn't be happening.
Yeah,
A little bit too
4 second
greedy,
cooldown
I
on
guess.
chain, you can get a couple kills, but no, I think obviously going back to the Viper Huskar, it's very much like you've got the Huskar needs to be super aggressive to try and bully out the Viper and get level advantage to play that lane. If you go even, then the Viper eventually wins with levels. So
It's just the volatility rapidly expanded it. And now Lightless is going to be hit up by the Chrono in the mid lane, which will bring him down. But URSUS might be joining him in the grave. He moves out the Nevid Toxin just in time.
whew. 3 braces, best friend.
I mean, there was a lingering effect there, right, when he exited. It genuinely looked like he might still go down for a second there. It's like, oh, wait, no.
That was the ult just ticking over and at the end of it. It was very close.
It's like one of those situations where, like, you're checking the diameter or something, like, in your car or in your plane. You're just tapping. It's like, it's not working right now. Wind trot? Oh, thank God. Okay. Passive is back on. I'm feeling good again, guys. Sadoy getting roughed up a little, but they can't get close enough for the Sinister Gaze.
I think the worst thing that happened in this game so far is the fact that because this Viper is having such a large presence in mid lane, and the fact that the Puck can freely leave top lane, the Abaddon had a pretty good start to the game, was actually farming. We haven't seen an Abaddon have a good lane in any of the series that we've cast together. And then he gets ditched by supports, and he's moving back down to the bottom of the net worth pool.
This is just rinse and repeat right now. It just seems Abaddons get thrown on the bus. Like, yes, it can become a good support, right? It can fall back to that role. It shouldn't mean that you don't give it a chance to shine. Because when this hero does get going, it's kind of key. It's key to the style of gameplay you want to have right now in this meta, right? Which is fast, rapid, tower taking, and take over the map. Oh, that deny.
Oh, I love it when Chad support position 5 just comes mid and slaps a deny into their face of the enemy.
It's also like the animation of Snapfire, right? Like it's very kind of broadcast. Like, I know I'm gonna do
winds it up. He's just like, wait, deny.
Are you sitting there like, is he cooking himself or shooting? Oh, he's shooting. And we just got denied. Snapfire definitely a hero that can enable the put. I think that's actually another reason why like the Abaddon point is so important. Is with a Snapfire on your team as well, you have ridiculous power around taking early towers, right? Because you have the attack speed from Abaddon from the passive, and then you have the attack speed reduction on the tower from the Snapfire.
It's a very ooh.
Oh, they're going.
Got the ultimate.
Yep,
Gloop,
they have to.
gloop,
and
gloop,
Ush is gonna die for it, but Lightless will go down first, just about.
Is it gloop or glob? Oh no, I think I said the wrong word.
I think it's glop. Yeah, it's glop, right? Glop.
Glop, gloop. Oh, it doesn't matter.
Gloopity glop. And
I thought, we needed some additional casting to that ult, It's like
gloopity glop. I think Yoku's gonna flop. Oh, the cookie!
Oh.
No! He wasn't close enough.
And then
they're going for the second
man
one.
Timbersaw, top net worth, just doesn't care. He roams the streets of the dire side.
He has gained mastery over all trees through killing them. I mean, that's one way to get to the top of the leaderboard, right?
I think, well, maybe. I think we have to really consider the fact that URSUS, again, like in previous days. Oh, here we go. Nice little chrono. Got nice little puck kill. That's pleasant. Go back to your farming void. There we go. It's.
Oh, I like that. Was that him that quellated the tree, or was that?
I would assume so. Yes.
Yeah.
I'd assume so. It's you rely on the chrono for most of your setup, right? So this Timbersaw is going to run around, do whatever he wants. You have to control him. The Viper, you have to somehow stop him from getting out his like all 3 cores on Empire. You want to ideally chrono because they do so much annoyance in a team fight. And whoever you chrono, the likelihood of killing them is kind of limited because they're going to have the frost shield from Lich, and then they're going to have obviously some extra control from the puck. So potentially all of URSUS might not be able to get into the chrono area to do the damage. So yeah, it's a concerning position when your Huskar's not really got a position in the game. Your Abaddon's also kind of not in the game right now, and then you're relying on your Void and Snapfire. So there's too many cores on Empire to deal with.
No, definitely. And we said, right, if this just kind of chills and it goes later, then Empire have got the draft for that as they have the Morphling. And URSUS, I don't think he's got the life. Nice lift, though. Might save his life. They move forward,
This
and they
Timbersaw
don't
just
hit the
doesn't
wall in
care.
death.
This is like, he's just gonna build this like imaginary wall in front of URSUS base and be like, if you leave your base, I'm gonna be timber chaining at you.
Love? I think he went in with the Time Walk. Since the gates to lock him up, and he'll get the Time Walk out just in time. The Chain Frost is still passing him. Mortimer's
Oh,
kisses.
here we go.
Oh, the chaos. That's what we want to see. Yoku with a double kill. Fate Bolt Zap. And Lightless might though go down to the Snapfire as 4 dead on the side of Empire at the cost of 1 buyback.
Empire. Like, Timbersaw, he's the one at top net worth. He's, was before the Morphling Viper took over. But he's the guy, you know, he's the man at the top. Let him make the space for you. Don't get drawn into this aggression. This type of Dota, you utilize the space of this Timbersaw, that if he dies, he's dying to a Chrono, a Snapfire, a Husker move. Like, he's dying to multiple cores going on him. Use the space on the map, build up a net worth, like a gold lead, and then make a move. The fact that you're trying to play 4 heroes in between the tier 2 towers at 10-13 minutes, that's not how you play Dota. Do not do this. Let your Timbersaw be this, like, void, this black hole of everything up in the top corner. Suck everyone into it. Waste so much time and space.
That's true. All
But
great
here we go again,
empires-
round 2, boys.
All great empires tend to crumble from within, and we're kind of seeing signs of that, right? This is how this usually happens with these type of lineups, that they get this confident lead, especially with Vipers in the team. I've noticed this a lot. It's like, yep, we can play ultra aggressive. The Timber is just an even bigger bait for that. And then, as you said, you find yourself too deep.
Timbersaw's just kind of, you know, tooting his flute or whatever, and all these people just follow him for no reason.
Except they're not even true rats because they're looking to hit heroes instead of buildings.
Yeah, that's true. They're not even doing structural damage, god damn it.
Where's Alliance? Old Alliance when you need them.
Time of rat is soon over.
I think it's been over
Five-man
for a
death
bit
pool.
now. Yeah.
5-man death pool is the new play.
We're back into Wings Gaming territory. You know, maybe if we give Timber back his damage talent, we can get the split push back in the game.
No, we don't need that. Look at this, man. He's majestic.
I know, but think how much more ridiculous this would be.
That would be true.
Those were dark days. So it ends up being a trade, 1-for-1 tower take, just what you typically see. However, if you look, that wasn't a tier 1 this time, it's a tier 2. So Empire, they get advantage there and they go immediately into the Roche pit, which is huge because you look on us as a side, they've got Husker.
Smoking? They've got the Void ult, they've got the Snapfire ult right now. They are ready.
They need to be quick.
Yeah, I believe they just smoked under the tier 2, so
they'll make it. Empire knows something's wrong because no one's showing on the map anymore, so they're going to back out. Timber
I like to
is
see them respect.
behind.
This is good. They're respecting their opponent. They didn't just do that underneath the tier 2s, but now they do it. Oh, okay, yeah.
And now you have to fight into this with kisses
Exactly.
up, with Chrono.
Dire
boy.
tips the hat to Radiant. Thank you for killing this to half HP. Try
Thanks
fighting
for
us
warming
now.
up, bud. And now you go in. This is
That
too
was
late.
so-
This is
Oh,
way
wow, and
too
the
late.
Chrono.
The Chrono! Oh, the kisses, James. Mwah. See you later, little fairy dragon. On the side, Snapfire will die for it because this is the downside. You're an artillery
bash
unit
him.
standing still. Not enough bashes to lock down the Morphling as well, but
I
they
wanted
do get
infinite
2-for-1.
bashes. The only way he dies though is if he gets at least 300 bashes in a row. But I was ready. I know that RNG can do God's work to players.
Are you trying to say that RNG is too strong again, T? Are we going down that road?
Nah, not at all, mate. Not at all. Not at all. Don't worry. You do not. Play.
Have you? Do you just wake up in the middle of the night, remembering Spirit Breaker moments in your games?
Spirit Breaker is a majestic hero, and when you get first hit bash in the entire game, that's when you know the game's good. Oh, Husker wasting his Aegis. Oh no.
I mean, it is a waste. It's a measly Lich kill for that, and now Yoku
And
does grab the DD and run away, but URSUS, he's just gone. He tries for the very bold TP, and we praise the Aegis pickup, we praise the Chrono, but immediately after, they just don't respect the fact that their draft needs to actually wait for the Chrono combo.
Yeah, if they don't have Chrono, it's like, well, what do we do? My 5k net worth Abaddon's not really going to do much. He's just going to walk around and get kited and also blown up by the Timbersaw. Like, it's an awkward place to be for URSUS, but the play into Roshan, really good. Take control of it, steal it, and then it's like, okay, we need to reset, wait for the next Chrono to come up line, and then make another really good forward play but our next fight has to be on the Radiant side so we can start taking towers. Because right now, every fight URSUS has taken, has been on their own side. So as you can see, there's still tier 1s alive, top, mid, and they've taken bottom tier 1, but there's so much gold in the map right now that's just been locked away into towers. Like Radiant, they've taken 2, 4, 5 towers.
Yeah, but there are
And they're only
signs of
1k
hope.
up, so...
There's signs of hope, T. Timber's score right now has reached 3-2-2, which means that, by law, Empire need to throw in some way in the next fight.
Well, the Timbersaw is entitled to throw, because he's 3-2-2, you know?
Exactly. It was ingrained in his hero now. And in fairness, the chrono will be available in 25 seconds.
And then potentially, if Empire pushes this bottom tier 1 and chrono comes back online, that could be a good fight for Dire.
What do you think the build is on Snapfire at the moment, by the way? Like, you've had some experimentation.
It varies on the game. So as soon as you're a support, it's going to be like standard stuff, cookie cutter stuff, you know, 4-star, Glimmer, Vlad's, Vessel, those type of items most likely. Do
you think Kai is too greedy?
100%. 1,000%. It's way too greedy.
It just seems like if you're building, like if you've got like a chrono lineup, right, the kisses, the damage amp is pretty ridiculous.
It's about the items allow you to offset your cooldowns. So if you rely on a chrono, you should not buy items to over enable the chrono. You have to use your item slots to enable the gaps between the chrono.
It's like the please don't build 5 Daedalus thought process, and please don't get baited by the puck, who doesn't even die.
URSUS have to be at 5 right now. They got their chrono back up, and again, Empire, they're still going to be able to run rampant over this side of the map. So it's a really scary time. Look at the net worth. Your Void's only 7.4k. Viper and Morphling both touching on nearly 9k. So, or around 9k. These tanky boys, they only die now in the chrono. They do not die in any other part of the game. This Husker will not be killing any of these cores on Empire unless they like stand still, let the Husker like kind of slap them for 20 seconds, then go, oh, I'm under attack, and then die. So yeah, it's a really awkward spot right now for URSUS.
But maybe this smoke can do some work. They are going to the high ground blind. This is incredibly risky, but they won't be punished. Instead,
they got the illusion.
Oh no, they're gonna use the kisses now into the Viper, but the rest of the side of Empire coming in. They're gonna look to turn this around. Viper isn't even gonna go down. The mag resistance works in his favor. Void's already dead. Yoku's stuck in the tree line, will be ran through and killed off, and Yol, he tries to hop, skip, and jump his way away, but he just doesn't have the health to get out in one piece.
Cool, blimey, that is...
It's almost like running into the high ground blind.
I got the morph, guys. He didn't shift. Oh, he's a fucking illusion.
This debate is like, I think the ping came out because they couldn't figure out whether Lightless had broken the smoke or if it was the morphling illusion, right? So it's like you can kind of understand where they're coming from, and it's like it seems like a good chrono, but the moment you just see the kisses with the chrono on the Viper, you're like, you're not even killing this target. This is where you start to see the problems of the draft.
Yeah, imagine if the Viper was doing the old Viper build as well, because obviously Vipers have now shifted towards the Treads, Dragonlance, Maelstrom kind of build.
The machine gun build,
yeah, and obviously before you'd be going for like Hoods, Greaves, like just tank. So, like, just imagine the hero, like how tanky he is, even without the tanky items. Like it's just a really solid hero for being able to frontline and just sap a lot of time and resources within a team fight.
The beauty about this build, though, is that, it forces attention, right? Like, you have to kill this guy, or he is just going to destroy you.
But that is what all of Empire's cores are. When you look at all 3 of these heroes, if you had to describe them, they're all like time-wasting, annoying team fighters. In terms of they don't provide control, but to kill them, the other team has to really think about their approach to killing them. Like when you go and kill a Viper, you have to go, okay, we need to make sure we hit this down, or we got a Vessel or something. When you get a Timbersaw, it's like we need to have enough lockdown and magic damage to eat through him. Same again with Morphlings, like we need to have enough lockdown. So all of these heroes, you have to have such a clear process in killing them. And when you have 3 of them in a game, whilst you've got a Lich and support duo like behind them, it's really hard for URSUS to fight them unless they hit this like magical chrono.
Yeah, it's just such a nuisance. Like, you feel as if you have to stay together while Empire, because of the nature of these heroes, like, yes, you have to kill them, but they're proving elusive or too tanky right now. Like, Viper lasts long enough that reinforcements arrive. Morphling, not the easiest catch. And Timber, as we just saw, he's just standing across the road from them, waving at them all the time. It's like, hey, how you guys doing? It's like the frustrating neighbor you don't want to talk to, but you can't do anything about. You know what he is? Right, so right now, URSUS is Homer Simpson, and
Right.
and Timber is Ned. Well, like, you want to, you know, Homer wants rid of him, right? Like, he's like, just, I don't want to have to deal with him. But Master is always there. He's always happy.
I think all of Empire's lineup is dead right now. Or Ned, whoever, sorry.
They're dead? Have you ruined Simpsons for me now? They might ruin this fight. Chain Frost bounced it around the wrong way, but back towards them. They're just too tanky. They split up the fight. Viper's down already. Lich will join him in the grave, and Mastery, while he is still being a nuisance, they are re-emerging, coming out the other side, and looking onto him next. And he has no mana left, no life. Running the trees.
Like to Duke with Must. About to start the chant.
You know that when you're a Timber and you're thinking trees are my friends, that's when it's the end of the world for you, okay?
I think we didn't really factor in if Empire move aggressively without the correct numbers or positioning, they can also still lose a fight. I think that's a key thing to note. When a team's ahead in terms of, I think, even though the net worth's even, Empire are ahead in their ability of that to utilize their draft to force an objective or force an area of the map to be theirs if they have the numbers in the area. As soon as they move as 3, with Morph showing in one lane and then their other 4th is just kind of sitting back in the fog, and URSUS are able to punish this, then of course Empire will be able to lose these fights simply because they're outnumbered and outpositioned. You saw in that fight, you had the Lich on the bottom side, Timber was chasing Husker top. Like, it's such a disconnected approach to moving across the map. So it's, if Empire keep doing these type of plays, then of course URSUS are being able to keep getting some farm, kind of move around the map. Like you can see now, look at the Void. He's kind of catching up to the Viper. Like before, he was 2.5k behind. Now he's pretty much even with the Viper now. So,
well, not only that, look at the Abaddon. He's actually surpassed the Timbersaw now, who was so dominant this early game, but a few slip-ups, and all of a sudden, this Abaddon isn't so poor. He gets a few items online. He can actually support his team.
It's the repercussions of the playstyle. So Timbersaw, he's playing in between towers, being super aggressive, trying to be this kind of space creator. But then as soon as you die 2 to 3 times, or you lose that position on the map, then of course you're not going to be farming. And meanwhile, the Abaddon was like, all right, you're going to be running at me. I'm just going to hit creeps over here. I'm going to maybe hit some creeps there. And of course, that's how you have comebacks, or kind of you can catch up on the discrepancies in net worth.
Now there might be more punishment coming as URSUS is starting to posture around the Roche pit. They should know it's up, but they're a bit hesitant despite having the big combos. They want to get a decent 2-3 man chrono if they're going to go for this. Seeing as Empire, they have all their spells available, they still have a net worth lead on that Morphling, so he is a threat.
As time goes on, the need to chrono certain heroes does go down. So the Timbersaw's impact will deplenish? Yeah, will reduce over the time of the game. Because of course you have the items, you'll get BKBs, you'll have 4 stuff, you'll have the ability to kite. So as time goes on, now the chrono is just we need to kill the Morphling. Like, it's really not that complicated now, because this initial death pool that Empire had has kind of fallen off in terms of we can punish you in the early game. Now moving into the mid game, it's if we kill Morphling, now you only have a Timber and Viper, and sure you got damage, but
Puck's going in for the back line, silence them up. Plov does get hit with the Dream Call, which will split up the fight. And Josh is running further away. He's way too deep here, but now the BKB, he'll look to turn on them. He's going pretty low to the Morphling Illusions, however, needs to back up quickly. No longer will he have that magic immunity, but the Dream Call was used. They still got the Chrono combo on the side of URSUS. So it looks like Empire are happy with that. They say big BKB charge, back away.
Oof. Again, quite a disconnected fight. You had the Void being jumped on the back line, getting coiled, and then your Husker immediately jumps in. But
Chrono jumping. Lightless in a bit of trouble. The BKB, the Quizzes, there's enough to bring down the Viper, and all of a sudden, a numbers of fights for URSUS, but that is their combo use. They'll find the second kill, and all of a sudden, Empire, do they want to take this? They move in pretty aggressively as half the heroes on URSUS are on half health. But they realize there's no pick opportunity, so they will back off. Nice quick turnaround from us. I should have nailed him to get this tier 1 tower finally. Or just go straight into the Roche pit, it looks like. Plov. He did time walk already. He's silenced up, but he can get out again. Mastery, however, has he gone too deep? He has got the TP, but oh no, the cookie. Oh, teams, they promise. Okay, folks. The teams promise they will get better at these cookies and communicating it. But in that moment, no.
I just don't think people are, I think, in line with the idea of someone screaming cookie at them yet. Because that just means step back a little bit, turn around, face the hero, let me throw you at him. In reality, it's like, what the hell are you shouting at me for? Huh?
It's just like, is that your cute nickname for me now? I didn't realize we were at this stage in the relationship.
Great fight. Oh. I love the way that you support me.
In fairness to these scenarios, usually I'm just looking at it like, you know, I feel like the stat fires are forgetting they can cookie themselves. Maybe it's they don't want it for that delay. But now another fight going on. URSUS is pretty deep. James does get the dream call onto 2. But will give his life. And in return, you might go down. But no, 1-for-1 trade is going to get worse. The BKB, URSUS can stand and fight in Mastery. Just trying to kite them out and tack it all up. The BKB runs out on Plov. He is caught in the sinister gaze, but not for long as he bashes down and kills off the Lich. URSUS just trying to get out of here quickly. Still has the Aegis to work with. He's baited them in too far, though. Even after the buyback, it won't save the life of Mastery. And James, what has he got to contribute to this fight right now? Tatake doesn't really want to fight this anymore, but doesn't have the mana to escape. He's slowed down with a life break, trying to jump away with the time warp, but they do see him. They ping him out. He's still too tanky, however. They need to pick off these squishier targets like this puck. But instead, they say no. Just back away. We lost the Aegis. Plov is still poking, but this should be the end of the engagement. Probably a tower will be taken afterwards, but I don't know if they get more.
Whew, I was really worried that would be like an overstep from URSUS. I thought that was like when you hit that initial coil come in, they were all on the low ground, this kind of awkward area of the map, but there wasn't enough damage coming in from Empire now. I think that's kind of where the game's going, where this Timbersaur's kind of awkwardly starved himself. The Viper, of course, can do damage, but they're getting into an awkward spot now where URSUS, they're becoming a little bit too tanky for them right now.
Yeah, it's turning into this kind of ease of execution. You know, this isn't the type of game where you're limited and you need to hit this perfect 5-man chrono type scenario.
Oh, we've way gone past that scenario now. Now it's just chrono a core and off we go. Take the fight. It's at the start of the game, it was the fear of the death ball and the lack of damage forced you to have to use a chrono on multiple heroes to take the fight. Now we've got past that initial death ball, and Empire are like, oh guys, we can't be so confident now. Now URSUS have this kind of freer ability to just kill any core, and then after the core's dead, then plow through, take the fight, move across the map aggressively. So
James gets caught out very easily, just gone. Sports tip the hat and say thank you for the free gold, and that should be a push in towards the tier 2 in the bot lane, as Empire have no intention of coming here now.
Oh,
However, in the mid lane, Plov
go. Oh, I was about to say that. Plov go plop.
Orca Splat is also acceptable, as he is just a giant smothered mess on the ground.
Oh, look at it. Chakra.
DJ spin that record all the way to the bot lane to stop their push.
He even timed it with the creeps dying. Very cool.
Now the question is, what is the big kind of power spike that you see for Empire? Like the next thing that can kind of, in terms of items, get them back on the board. Is it something like this Hex that Timber is targeting a long way off? Or is there something simpler and quicker to get?
I think it's just how you approach the fight. The last 2 to 3 fights have been extremely sloppy in terms of you've kind of got the puck jumping a backline, or you got the Lich on the one side. Like, it's not a cohesive Timber Viper at your front, Morphling behind, Lich and puck kind of just around the fight. Like, there's no cohesive approach to a team fight right now. And you can see that from the point in which URSUS contested Roshan and stole it. From that point onwards, Empire's team fight and their approach has it's disappeared. So I think right now it's items, sure, they're nice, but they really need to sort out how they actually take a fight.
Yeah, I'd say the one that they had in mid, although it ended in a chrono that deleted a few of them, the initial part of it wasn't bad, right? That they split URSUS in a very beneficial way, where the puck went for the back line, was trying to find the snap fire, but managed to split up the cores instead. That is the way that they can fight, and that's one of the big advantages of having a puck on your team.
Yeah, ideally you want to have at least one support, one core off in one direction. You want to have either the husk or void commit through using their spells to jump in. As soon as they jump in, that's when you know you've got this divide in the fight. You got some core, some just use their mobility spells to get into the fight. Then you have to take the fight from there. But again, right now the fights that they are taking, it's very just a little bit too sloppy. They're outnumbered, or they're just not in the right position as a 5.
That was the story of a lot of the fights, right? Like they took this big lead, they took control of the map, and then they were just off doing things, and usually the Morphling was still farming. Like, what? I mean, I get trying to like corral URSUS back towards the base, but calm down. Now you're getting the stages where
They're
everyone
just
should
showing
be
off
there.
the fact that they can push out lanes. They have more for Viper. Like 4 of their heroes can push out lanes quite cleanly. So they're just kind of utilizing their draft right now to stem the bleeding that is their misplays.
Yeah, and just following some Golden to Puck, who almost has that Aghanim Scepter now.
Well, that's
Pretty
going to be a
effective
big
against these
turn. Yeah,
heroes.
that's going to be nice. That's going to be nice. As soon as you hit that big coil, really localize the fight.
In the meantime, James
there it
doing a
is.
good job of
Oh, he had the
forcing their
Philosopher's
attention.
Stone. No wonder he had
Go get that cash.
a nice amount of farm, yeah.
And Plov does actually find Tatake.
Okay.
Not somewhere you should be. That was the chrono, though.
It did look very much in the top tier 2 area, if I remember correctly. So, if I see that correctly.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. It's a weird place for him to be when he sees his team is playing around
Wacky.
bot, right? Like, I guess his
Do
thought
you know what I
process
said about
is...
numbers and playing the map together?
Morphling hasn't heard you say that all game long. Have you not noticed?
No, that's fair enough. You know, we're just 2 lowly casters yapping away at the Dota 2.
And speaking of yapping right
here we
now,
go.
there might be
Master
some
read.
dogs to the slaughter. Shush. Not scared. Jumps further for the dream call. Snap. Connecting on a free. Looking pretty good. And they've already brought down the Husker. The tenor on Sadoy as well. The Mortimer's kisses will kiss Mastery goodnight. But y'all will join him in the grave as well, as it ends up being a 3-for-2 trade.
The Abaddon died because he was inside the
3-for-1.
break of the Viper and didn't activate his ultimate. That is the most unfortunate thing I've ever seen, I think, for an Abaddon.
We call it the anarchy factor, or the chaos factor, I'd like to call it, where there's just too much crap on your screen, right?
Yeah, there was a lot on his screen. Just thought death was the easier option.
Oh dear. But yeah, as I say, 1 for free trade. Very good for Empire to be able to fight like that. And you said it before, right? This kind of like
nice
Empire's
fight,
ability
though,
to scale naturally is just there.
But this is a nice fight because even though your Morphling's dead, your Timbersaws, your frontline, he's tanking. Your Viper then comes and put damage in. You then put the control of the puck. You're together as a team taking the fight. Sure, your Morphling's not there, but because you're all throwing your spells together at the right time on the same heroes, of course you're going to get kills. So this is just a testament that Empire's draft is good. They just need to play together.
Yeah. And if that's the power of them when they're 1 hero down, well, lordy, I don't think URSUS want to see what they're like when they've got all their power with them. As Morphling's back up, and with the assist of the Dream Call, managed to find a kill into Yoku. Now, the point is
got
that...
the gem on puck as well. Look at the vision now from the Dire side. No wards on the Radiant side. They're going to feel so pressured into their own side of the map. And any move they make, they're going to have to blindly walk into high ground, try and get some wards out.
And we saw how that backfires, right?
Kadara,
When they made that
no.
blind smoke up.
Don't walk up high ground at night time.
Well, I was about to mention that URSUS done this before, but now it's Empire's turn. However, Plov has been baited in a little bit. BKB has got the chrono. But Tatake just ignoring him and being ignored in return. They might chrono him now, however, he's completely strength morphed up. I don't think they have the damage to even get through him in time. He should be able to actually escape this. Waveform down. Thanks for using your ultimate, suckers. And how'd they get? BKB. URSUS not having it, though. He's like, I'm coming after you, Lightless. Has the BKB, so he can get away. Mastery, this is now where you have to back up. Yes, you got the kill on Kadara.
Oh, this Lich. What is happening, Lich?
That's the dieback. I mean, it's classic Lich, isn't it, at this stage in the game?
I think this Lich just roleplayed the classic Reddit support player that, you know, he's like, I'm just warding, guys. Why am I dying? I only want to get wards out.
I've been trying to de-ward this same place for the last 10 minutes.
You need to help me, guys. Right? No. Okay. Flame and memes aside, this Lich walking up high ground at nighttime. Maybe he expected them not to be there. Feels like a weird kind of vibe to have, but Oh, that was some very quite a big misplay coming out from the position 5 on Empire.
And the irony is that we were kind of expecting us to do this, as they've done it before, where they smoked and then went kind of blind into these high ground areas through the choke points. They're the ones that have shown a history of this so far in this match. But instead, Empire proving they can do it too, and they maybe can lose mastery. It's going to get bashed up, caught in the kisses too long. But however, he's not gone yet.
Bash him?
Exactly. If the RNG is with you, it's looking good. The Dream Core does come out. URSUS zoning away the rest of Empire to make sure they can't capitalize on it, though. And Lightless, BK beat up, but not tanky, as he's brought down by the right clicks of URSUS. That might just be Roche for URSUS. So able to get a big one here. And with the Viper dead for 75 seconds, I don't know if Empire want to fight this.
It's just overextension after overextension coming out from these teams.
All right, nice. We get a little bit of a stop reel. This is 2 frames a second right now as we watch Mastery escape just in time. Trying to actually chase onto him. He's a little bit too quick. They still don't have the chrono back up just yet. But they will chase across with the life break. Be able to slow him down long enough. The Never Toxin might backfire a little bit, but the BKB is there, allowing Huskar to back away and fight against Tatake, who will be brought down by the looks of... No, he's able to morph up just in time. But for how long? They're still chasing. As you said, that's clearly the dieback. And all of a sudden, problems on both sides. They're missing 2 core components and now make that a third. As URSUS now losing way too many heroes, unable to kill off the Morphling initially, will mean that they will surrender that Roche.
Oh, what a PowerPoint presentation of a fight. That was wacky, wild, and all I saw Timber died.
Going in PowerPoint mode.
Timber died, yeah, and then suddenly out of nowhere, I just saw Void and Huskar like slide 32 of the PowerPoint presentation, and now slide 54 of the PowerPoint presentation. Morphling's dead. To the Rubik. Woo!
Yoku will die for it though. He's like, worth, so worth. But they might lose more as the loser chases forward. Sidoi's been seen as well, and he can't be killed. They're like, wait, no. He probably doesn't forget that the R button is a thing anymore. All right, I'm going to check because we've got an alternative stream. All right, if we switch across to the VLC... Wait, no, we're good again. It's worked. Are you still... Is yours clean as well, T?
No, mine's a PowerPoint presentation.
All right, click, like you need to just refresh the scene. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Apologies for that, folks, but don't worry.
There we go, fix it. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, look at that. So
I was enjoying the PowerPoint. It really condensed the information that I needed to see. It was just kill, death, kill, CS, death, kill, stun. You know, it was just beautiful.
That was just the highlights of the game, right? It was beautiful.
They need to take this technology elsewhere, you know.
Noob from UA, step aside, okay? This is the next step. Well, things have calmed down and no one has taken Roche. No one felt
confident. Still at Roshan. Oh,
yeah.
I thought that was taken during the PowerPoint presentation.
No. The PowerPoint presentation missed no deaths. They were all eventually caught.
I just like the fact that the Morphling clearly was playing on low HP and the Rubik just kind of walked by and was like, oh, good day to you, Mr. Morphling. Death.
Tip of the hat. It's like, I'm going to get Dream Call now, but I'm happy with this outcome. Especially things that allows them to secure the Roche, and there's not even going to be a yoink there as James was unable to get the kill on Roche. Throws down the Dream Call, and Plov says, fine, I'll throw down the Chrono. Brings him down, dead for 80 seconds. And a beautiful gem now in the hands of URSUS. Oh, ooh. Empire, they do at least find a Spell Prism. Is that actually...
Very cool.
I'm trying to think like who they want to give it to. Is it Puck this game, I think, for the Dream Call cooldowns? And just the spam out waves? Or do you like it?
Depends on their current items, because I think it's nice on Puck, of course, for now. But once we start clicking on the other heroes and see what neutral items they're currently rocking, then we'll have a gander.
Well, right now, Morphling still has that pesky, slightly broken item. They did nerf it again, the Mindbreaker. I think it's down to 1.5 seconds now on the silence. Still pretty lethal. I hate that. It just feels like one of those really awkward neutral items, right? Because it just catches you off guard so easily. It's like, wait, why am I silenced? You like click all their heroes, you're like, none of them have orchids and they don't have inbuilt silencers.
Yeah, I think times have progressed to when you do get slapped with a rat. It's just going to be like a reveal, right? Once you get hit by the first one, you're like, okay, now it's a thing. So I think it's nice to, as soon as you pick up the item, you can potentially make some cute plays with it, but yeah, we'll see. Like the Void carrying it, maybe could be. Wait, who picked it up? What team? Sorry.
The Morph. The Morph has it.
Oh, the Morph picked it up. Is it really that good at this point, though? They got BKBs. It's nice. It's a pleasant little thing to have. There we go.
It's a little bit of extra damage. You know?
A little science.
He's waiting for the next. You know what he's waiting for? He's waiting for that 60-minute mark and the Apex. Of course, not as good as it was because
you're one of those tier 5 memers, aren't you? Oh, let's go for late game. Let's get ourselves those big items. And
I mean,
have
you're
an
making
absolute
that. You're making that comment here. We're 42 minutes in, okay, and no one's broken base yet. So
yeah, but I know how this game. Oh,
you know, do you?
I know. Yeah.
How would you know?
What's going to happen? Well,
I don't think the betters are happy to hear this one, T, but please continue.
Well, I do know, and this is what's going to happen. Team Radiant and Team Dire are going to have a little scuffle, and then it's just
they've
gonna
had a few of those already. So
bomb it down, bot into the end of the game. This fight right here is when Dire wins the fight, takes bottom racks, and just plows into base.
I think what you're doing there is you're interpolating based on previous data. That's a dangerous thing to do, and this is a dangerous fight. Takes it, he's gone.
The break.
Kisses. They're going to come out trying to help the buyback, sure, but Snapfire dead for 100. And the Chrono, you don't no longer have the combo. James will be brought down, but that's all you're probably going to get. Morphing does go down the back line, which is the bigger target they found in the end, but can they keep fighting with the buyback from Puck? He's able to get here quicker, and now URSUS with the BKB. Lightless with the TP away, BKB does get out. No!
He dies in the fountain, pure damage.
He goes down, it's just too much, and it looked like Empire, because of the kind of disjointment, URSUS, they didn't look like they were in full power, but straight away they say, shut the hell up, we have a Void, we have a Husker, and you have no Fairy Dragon for 110 seconds.
Okay, so page 34.
Oh yeah,
Dire takes the fight. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you meant to now say Dire are doing it. They're taking the racks.
They're taking the base. They're taking the game.
Are they gonna go for ancient? You gotta say the next line. Ancient. Yeah. Yeah, go.
And it's looking like it might be over, but the repair kit to try. Wait,
oh, the repair kit's
gonna wait. No. Wait, this is the script from the previous patch. This isn't right.
Yeah, go. Yeah, it's just gonna be take the tier 4s, no buybacks. Yeah, okay. And then big sigh.
We didn't get the updated details. Yeah. Repair kit doesn't do what it used to
and
do
another
anymore.
one.
Oh, the Kitara is like, no, I don't want it. No, actually, come on, guys, come in. Please come into the fountain with me. Don't go for the end of the game. But they realize, wait, this is a mistake. It's something my uncle's been calling me for years, and I won't have this game be called it as well. As they close it out, and URSUS should be able to take game one.
Fountain. Hit ancient. Sorry, hit the ancient. There we go. Good lads. There we go.
Well,
54 over. Finish. Adieu.
All right. According to this script, we have like 20 seconds to wrap things up. And
okay. So I think if TLDR, the storyline of the game, Empire Hope had a really good start. Had the Timbersaw, had a really good lane. Was trying to play aggressive, but through that aggression, he drew all his team to follow him, other than the Morphling. Put them into really awkward positions, and then they died due to these overextensions. This naturally then put the Timbersaw at a deficit of farm, which meant he couldn't scale into being that tanky core into mid to late game. This then allowed the Husker and Void to just catch up and farm, get the items needed, and then the process of the fight simplified, where they didn't have to chrono everyone or all the cores. They could just chrono any one or two supports, and then off they go, or one core, sorry. So I think Empire, they had the early game through 2-3 misplays and just lack of numbers in the correct areas, gave URSUS the necessary plays to then come back into the game.
Yep, URSUS, they proved that the draft, as the game goes on, gets so much simpler than Team Empire's. And Team Empire, they need more than hope. They're gonna have to start praying, because if they allow these games to go late like this again, then and URSUS do the same sort of similar draft, we might see a 2-0. But that's theory crafting right now. Short break, and then we'll be back for game number 2 to see if we'll need a game number 3.